Nobody wants to collect that old money anymore.
Do you have a situation like
and the volume of money that the banks release are not enough for people to use. Banks are still using old money. If you want to collect money, if you go to bank, they will still give you old money.
Amid the high cost of living due to inflation and deteriorating insecurity in the country, Nigerians were taken by surprise in December 2022 by the new naira note policy announced by the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godswill Emefiele. As there had been poor circulation of redesigned new notes, there have been calls from different quarters for the extension of January 21 deadline. The CBN governor reiterated on Monday that the whole 200 naira, 500 naira and 1000 naira notes ceased to be the legal tender starting from January 31, but Nigerians, especially those in the rural areas, are yet to access the new notes. The deadline, therefore, has resulted in fear, uncertainty and controversies, although President Muhammadu Buhari seems to have approved the redesign and circulation of the new notes. Some government officials have disowned the policy, stating that there is something wrong with the timing of the exercise. Financial experts and economists continue to debate on this policy, will mostly affect people who belong to the from hand to mouth group, like petty traders, daily pay workers and laborers. People living in rural areas and those without a bank account are said to be most affected.
Actually, there have been some complaints from some quarters that people rejected, especially in the rural areas. In the local areas, the rural areas, if I may, you understand, not in the urban. They were complaining that people, based on the information they are hearing, that old notes, naira notes, are not acceptable. Based on that, it hampered some transactions over there. It will affect business. For instance, that farmer in Kano that is into farming, that don't have access to POS, don't have access to the bank on where he will drop his money, he will stash the money, which is the normal old way, and be keeping it. So that when the time comes, he will. What happens to that money? It's affecting the economy. He can't trade because this is money he borrowed from somewhere so as to get it at the end of the 6 months and pay back. And now you're saying the deadline is 31st and you're not making provision for the new naira. It's plus minus. That's what it is.
Despite the Central Bank of Nigeria's mandate to banks to fill all their automated teller machines with the redesigned naira notes, some financial institutions have been accused of still dispensing old naira notes.
But today, I went to Zenith Bank, Gudu branch precisely. So I went to the counter to make the withdrawal. So, given the closeness of the deadline, I had thought that they will pay me with the new naira notes. But to my greatest surprise, they paid me with the old naira notes. So, if the banks don't even have the new naira notes in stock, so I don't think the CBN and deadline is feasible, honestly.
Even though the CBN has stated that there have been massive supply of new naira notes, banks and POS outlets are still struggling due to the shortage of redesigned notes ahead of the January 31 deadline, thereby making it difficult for them to comply with the directives. Also, business owners, companies, churches, and commercial drivers have reportedly stopped accepting the old naira notes.
I'm not a businessman, but I went to the market yesterday to buy things. I see a lot of shops closed. And I asked them, what is the problem that the shop closed? They say, because of this exchange. That is why some people are afraid to open the shop to keep an old mint so that they can reject it. That is why they close their shops, so that when they're opened, they can be able to open their shops. But I also go to the ATM, instead I can get a new note, still ATM, they're bringing the old note up to now.
It was also gathered that the bride price paid with old naira notes was rejected by family of the bride in Benue State. Precious Okoje, a businesswoman at the Gerike Ultramodern Market in Abuja, stated emphatically in an exclusive interview that she would not accept anything that would jeopardize her business. She went on to say that the transfer of cash is preferred in place of the old naira notes.
It has expired. I think the deadline was on 26th of January, which the CBN said that no more old naira notes again. So for now, we don't do old naira notes, we just do new naira notes.
Your customer comes to the shop, bought something that was taking that old naira. We still risk not accepting it.
Right now, the bank is not even giving us the new naira note again. And people come into your business and be like, this is what I have, that's still accept it. We're pleading for you to accept, and you have no choice. than for you to just leave your business. And due to when you're just telling a customer that no, I don't want to accept it, look, it sounds rude to them, and it sounds like you don't even value money. But meanwhile, I'm a money woman. I love money, so.
A POS agent in Abuja who still has to collect the old naira notes complain of how difficult it is for him to transact with the same cash.
POS. I run POS. People comes to me. If I want to pay them with old money, they don't collect it, and the people come with old money to me, and I have no choice than to collect it since it's my business and I run business. I know what it takes. I know how the rules works, because they said it's on the 31st of this month and the 31st has not come, so I'm still collecting it. It's for us to give them out to our customer becomes a big problem.
Also, Nigerians with the memories of when the naira was redesigned in 1984 have expressed fear. According to reports, business owners with legitimate savings as well as those with little savings were unable to change their currency and lost money due to short notice provided by previous administration. In 1984, few banks were assigned to receive deposits. Today, we have many banks, but there have been scarcity of the new naira notes. The big question is, will this be different from the 1984 experience? Will the redesigned naira serve its purpose?